So I thought it was about time that I did a channel update. Talked about what I want to do with this channel in the future, where I see it going, and what I'm hoping to achieve. So let's spin the logo and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Now, before we get into the channel talks and updates, I don't want to just stand here and talk to camera about this for 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes. So instead, I'm going to talk over, for the most part, a video montage of me having a bit of a move around here in the games room as I was trying to bring my arcade cabinets to the fore following the big move that I did a couple of months ago. So I'm going to talk about the channel updates, but I'm going to show you a bit of that as well, just to keep it interesting. And then at the end, you can see the transformation in the room and tell me if you think it's better, and also give me your comments and feedback in terms of what I'm hoping to do with the channel. So let's talk about the channel. And first of all, talk about the history and where it started. So I started the channel back in January 2024. My YouTube channel had existed for many years prior, and there's some older uploads on there. But in terms of taking it seriously and trying to post once a week, that was where it all began. And it really came off the back of a year in 2023 when I had done a weekly podcast with a friend of mine from work, and we'd had a great time doing it. We'd really enjoyed it, but by the end of that year, he was starting to get really busy with work. It was meaning that he couldn't spare the time needed around his other hobbies to continue the podcast. So sadly, at the end of 2023, we called it a day. Now, at the time, he encouraged me to carry on. He said, "You really enjoy this stuff, you're good at it, talking to camera, etc., do more of it." But I honestly didn't think that that was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't sure that, I certainly didn't want to kind of continue to do a solo podcast. That wasn't something I was interested in. So I started to think, well, what could I do? What would a channel look like? And in January 2024, I posted my first video. I think it was a retro quest, I can't remember. I did a couple of videos early that year, and I certainly had one which was around the PlayStation Portal, which gave me very unrealistic expectations as to where my YouTube journey might go, or at least how quickly, as it gained several thousand views fairly quick. Most of the content since has done nothing near that, so it was a bit of a come down, but you know, it was fun doing it all the same. But I took the view that what I wanted to try and do was to commit to doing a weekly video, something that would require a degree of discipline and imagination and creativity and planning, and that I wanted to focus on video games in a variety of forms. I also thought that perhaps early on in the channel I might also talk tech, maybe do some crafting, and I would have a variety of things that I would offer. The reality is the algorithm doesn't really support variety, as I found out the hard way, pivoting one week from tech to a craft to a gaming video. I think it confused audiences, I didn't have consistent views, and it didn't really work. So I would say probably middle of 2024, late 2024, I kind of decided that I was going to have to pick a route and kind of run with that, and I chose gaming, which is something I've always loved, all my life, and I'm very passionate about that industry, whether it's retro or modern. It's always been something that I've enjoyed. So from there, I've kind of doubled down and tried to make sure that I'm releasing gaming content every week. There've been a few that I've missed, hands up, especially this year, more so than 2024, unfortunately. But you know, I do try to be as consistent as I can around maintaining a busy kind of day job and of course family life and everything else that goes along with it. So that's kind of the background and the history. And then what I would do is just try and talk about where I see this going. So we recently hit the milestone of 500 subscribers, which is, for those who kind of track this stuff with YouTube, it's the first level of monetization that you can unlock in terms of kind of turning YouTube into something that generates you an income, or maybe makes you some form of a living. Now, I will quickly state that that is not really my intention here. I don't see this becoming my day job or something that supports me financially in that respect. But it would be nice to reach a larger audience and to be able to unlock some of the other community features that these different thresholds unlock within YouTube. And I'm not going to lie, if at some point I can get a bit of sponsorship, or a gaming company wants to send me something, or I can make a little bit of money in memberships, then I can just reinvest into the channel, because this stuff's expensive. Buying games for the collection's expensive, buying hardware and cameras and all that kind of stuff, it does rack up. And at the moment I shoulder a lot of that just personally out of my what little money I have left every month until all the bills are paid. So I think that first stage, I guess, that I'm looking to achieve is monetization, or allowing me to unlock some of those early features. Now, 500 subscribers is one of those conditions. Unfortunately, the one that I haven't met yet criteria-wise is watch hours. I need a certain amount of consistent watch hours. We're getting there, and I think that will come with time. And at the point that it does, what I'm really looking to try and unlock is channel membership. Nothing crazy expensive and not intended to, like I said, be a massive moneymaker, but more than anything so that I can offer a kind of more dedicated community, more content and more access, and do more with those individuals. One of the main drivers behind starting this channel was to meet people, like-minded people. I have a small social group outside of this and my day job, and they've been my friends since school, and they're great. But life has taken us away from each other. Family, friends, busy work lives just means that we don't really get a chance to game or do things together, and that's something that I do miss and I'd like to do more of. And one of my ways that I thought I might achieve that was to interact and build a community of people that I could then connect with, game with, and I still hope to do that. And I really enjoy when I do the odd live stream. Those of you that have joined and had chats, that's been really great for me, and I'd love in the future to actually be able to hop on a game together and play something co-op, bit of Helldivers or whatever it might be. So I'm hoping that will be something that comes with that membership piece. I also think that being a small amount of, I guess, commitment, from viewers, and therefore, the kind of the finances that come with that, however small they are, will be a motivator then for me to, at times when, energy levels are down and I'm having a busy week, just to really push me over the line then to carve that little bit more time out that's needed to, get down on the comfy sofa behind me and do a live stream. It sounds daft, doesn't it, to sit and play for 2 hours on camera? Surely that's easy, but you have to be talking, you have to be chatty, and sometimes after a busy day of work and lots of meetings, that energy's gone. So I'm hoping that there'll be a little more of an incentive there, more of a push to get me to do that more regularly. And I've thought about maybe offering member only streams. And things like that. I'm not looking to gate loads of content away, that's not the intention here. But what I do like the idea of is creating a space for people that are like me, that kind of are sick of the trolls on the internet, sick of the fuss and the mess and the fighting that goes on, and actually just kind of prove that the internet can be a nice place too, and that you can meet people and share experiences, and you don't have to worry about politics, you don't have to worry about being called out or having abusive comments left and things like that. You can just create an even safer space, an even smaller community where people can chat and share. So I think that's one of the key things I'm looking for over the next few months, is to achieve that goal of the consistent watch hours, and then unlock channel membership and be able to make something of that. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. As I say, all of this is part of me that the self-doubt in me, and I'm sure everyone suffers with this imposter syndrome, makes me question, am I worth someone's money? Is this worth someone's money? Does anyone care enough to want to pay for this? Even if it was a couple of pounds a month or something, there is that self-doubt that's there. I'm not sure whether people would want that or not, whether I'll get over that hump of seeing it. Maybe the first couple of subscribers would help me get through that, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll never happen. But it's certainly something I'm interested in, and if you've got ideas on what would make channel membership worth it to you and something you would be interested in, then please do share those thoughts with me. As I said, I would love to play more games. I'd like to do more streaming, and those don't have to be kind of, like I said, locked behind member walls. I thought about building a bit of a Discord out, but there's lots of Discord communities out there, and I think if I was going to do it, it would purely be for that small community of people that wanted to connect when they weren't online together. So if we can build a bit of a gaming community around a handful of kind of co-op or online experiences, maybe that just becomes a space for those people to continue to talk post-game and plan for the next game. And again, just a hangout space. If I'm going to be doing streaming, or even if I'm just playing on my own in an evening offline, just being able to jump into Discord and chat with some like-minded people would be cool. So maybe that's something that I would think about as well. I do enjoy live streaming as a concept and I do enjoy it when I get around to doing it. Again, sometimes knowing what to stream and having the time and the energy to stream can be a challenge, but I would like to do more of it. So if that's something you enjoy, then keep an eye out. I have wrestled with, do a Twitch or a Kick. I'm not really too bothered about moving off this platform and kind of creating a presence somewhere else. I think, again, if I was doing full-time influencer content creator, that would probably be sensible. But what I'm really looking to do is just to supplement my YouTube game, if you want to call it that, and build more for that community. So I'm not really looking to create loads of additional places that you've got to find me. At the moment, I limit it to YouTube and I use Instagram for the odd picture or video, and I think a bit of behind the scenes kind of stuff could be fun to do over there, and I might do a little bit more of that. Did dabble with TikTok for shorts. I just really don't like that platform. I'm sorry to anyone who enjoys it, but it just feels like a time drain when I use it, and I don't particularly enjoy uploading to it. So I've decided that that's out. I came off X/Twitter quite a long time ago, and I can't be bothered with the Threads and the Blue Sky. So I've limited it to YouTube and to Instagram, for better or worse. So yeah, maybe live streaming on YouTube is something I can do more of. I know it's not the place to live stream, but I'm only looking to do a couple of hours at a time as well, not these kind of mass multi-day 5-hour streams. So that's something in my mind. And then the other thing, I guess, is I mentioned podcasting. I really enjoyed that podcast that I did for a year. If you are interested, we had very few subscribers and not a lot of views or listens, but we enjoyed it. The channel was called Jay and Robbie, and the show was called Generations Apart, for anyone who cares to go back and find it and have a laugh at what we were doing. But we thoroughly enjoyed it, and it makes me miss that quite a lot when I reflect on it. And I would love to do another podcast. I don't know whether I don't really know anyone, I suppose, in my personal life that wants to do something like that is that way inclined. So I haven't gone down that route of trying to create one. But if I thought maybe I could join another podcast, or maybe just guest on someone else's podcast. Or if there's people out there that want to collaborate and you've been itching to do a podcast yourself, and you're prepared to spend a little bit on the gear, or maybe you've already got it. I was lucky enough to have a lot of this gear from previous hobbies. Then get in touch. I'd be keen to explore that. It would probably be a gaming one, something quite casual, but I would like to do that. And I enjoy just doing it for the fun of geeking out with other like-minded people. So it doesn't even have to be something that we take that seriously. So maybe podcasting is something I could do some more of in the future. But I think all around, the aspirations are just growth. How can we grow the channel? How can we get more views? How can I build a community of people so that I've got people to geek out with? I love geeking out and getting nerdy stuff like this. I'm, sharing the enthusiasm for the collecting, going out, meeting groups would be great. I don't really do that at the moment, but I'd love to go to events and meet people and game hunt together, or just get together online or even in person in the future and just spend some time gaming and enjoying this hobby of ours, because it really does. It is something I'm passionate about, but I don't feel like I get to share it as much as I might like. I guess in that respect, there's a little bit of loneliness. I wish I had more people to share this hobby with. And that was part of the motivation for all of this in the first place. And I really enjoy, putting those videos live on a Sunday, those first few comments that come in and getting to interact with people. I'd like to do more of that. I guess obvious milestones moving forward, 1,000 subscribers, because that again unlocks kind of ad revenue and enables a little bit more. And then in the future, I haven't really looked into what it takes to get sponsors and how all that stuff works. I guess I'll explore it when the time is right, if I ever reach that point. I may not. But yeah, so that was my musings really. I just wanted to share my thoughts on the channel, where it's going and what I'm up to. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening to this rambling, and I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback. If you've got ideas on things you think I would be good at, or types of content you'd like to see me do. Obviously I have a few different types that I typically kind of flip back and forth between. We do the pickups, There's been quite a bit of crafting and projecting, a bit of 3D printing recently. That's gone down well. Obviously things like RetroQuest, I still keep trying to dip back into and do some more of those. But yeah, if you've got any ideas of things you'd like to see me do or talk about, or types of content you'd like to see me create, I've often thought about kind of, not reactions videos per se, but like trailers, or reacting to events, press releases, big PlayStation showcases, things like that. I don't know if that's of interest either, but again, you tell me. You guys are my valued audience. Let me know what you enjoy, what kind of content you'd like to see, and what you think I might be good or interesting in talking about. And hopefully you like the room. So you'll have seen it by now. You'll have seen the end of the video, and you'll have seen the kind of completed changeover. I'm really pleased with it. I'm kind of looking off to my right here, which is where the completed space is. I think it really works. It shows off the arcades and the artwork, which makes them so impressive, and it really creates that little bit more of a divide between kind of the gaming end of the room and then the more functional end where I spend my kind of working days and when I edit. So it's been really fun to do that. Thanks so much for watching the video, folks. I look forward to any comments and direction and steer and thoughts in the comments below. But until the next video, have a great one, and I'll see you soon.